Hi there, Tim. Happy to see that you've written a new set of essays. Let's see what you've got here. Employees staying in the same job, or they should switch. To what extent do you agree? Let's see. Some people argue that workers should stay in the same job permanently, while others believe that they should change jobs at least once over the course of their professional endeavors. I completely agree with the latter statement. In this essay, I shall discuss both views and provide relevant examples to support my view. All right, lovely. On the one hand, staying in the same job permanently might bring some benefits to the employees. Let's get rid of the. You don't need it, so it should just be benefits to employees. Permanent employees are considered to be more familiar with the process and procedures of the company. Thus, they are often more valued and appreciated by their superiors. For example, my friend Susan, who has worked in the same company for over 10 years now, has decided to stay in the same company forever due to the special perks and benefits she receives, in which acknowledges her commitment and loyalty to the company. Okay, there's something grammatically happening here. You didn't want to say in which. So let's fix that. Due to the special perks and benefits she receives as acknowledgement of her commitment and loyalty to the company. That works. Therefore, it is evident that employees will be greatly benefited from staying in the same job. On the other hand, employees who have worked in different jobs have more opportunities to become successful in their careers. Employees with a diverse range of experience are more likely to be employed by reputable companies because employers often look for workers with diverse skill sets and experience to embark on ambitious projects. For example, Zach, the founder of Facebook, who's one of the wealthiest men in the world, shared his success. There's something missing here. Shared that his success stems from the valuable experiences and knowledge that he gained from working in multiple companies before creating his own. It is therefore clear that having a well-rounded work experience leads to higher chance of succeeding in their profession. In conclusion, while staying in the same job permanently will bring some benefits to employees, having different employment experiences are ultimately better as it provides employees the opportunity to grow and succeed in their career. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I really like this. Let's see. There's one thing that concerns me. First of all, I like the whole thing. It's really well written. You really extended, so everything is well supported, etc. I mean, it's all very well done. The one thing that I'm a little concerned about is this. You say that you completely agree with the latter statement. And despite the fact that you've said you completely agree with it, this paragraph all of a sudden talks about the opposite side. Okay? Now, I typically tell students that, yeah, you should talk about the side that you don't exactly support, as it shows in my opinion at least, a better developed essay. However, you still need to frame this correctly. What do I mean? I mean, you probably shouldn't have said here that you completely agree with the latter statement. You could have said instead, and this would have made more sense, while there are merits to both sides, I am more in favor of switching jobs. Now, that kind of a thesis statement would have been logical in light of how you developed this. Okay? But what you did, which is say that you completely agree with the latter statement, and then spend this entire paragraph talking about the side that you just told us you essentially completely disagree with, that doesn't really make sense. So it's really just about reframing your thesis statement here, your position. If you had reframed it in a way that actually reflected the development of this essay, it would have been problem-free. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please let me know. Let's take a look now at this bird flu casualties, task 1. The bar chart illustrates the number of casualties you can't say the number who were affected. The number of casualties as a result of the international bird flu between 1990 to 2000. Overall, the figure showed an upward trend. The number of casualties experienced almost a 1/3 increase over the decade. Yeah? Let's see. started off at 120, ended up, yeah, all right, that's true. Well, actually, if it started out around 120 and it went all the way to like 180, it increased by like 60,000, right? So isn't that really 50%? Not sure. If you're not sure either, then maybe you should avoid this. But I think it's actually a 50% increase because it went up from 120 to 180, increasing by 60%, by 60,000, which is actually 50% of that initial number. But I'm not a mathematician, so all right. At the beginning of the period, the number of global bird flu casualties, careful with your spelling, was just over 120,000, and it remained steady in 1991. Then, the figure had a slight increase to approximately 130,000 in the next 2 years. Please don't start your sentences with and. Grammatically, it's incorrect. I know people do it all the time, especially in spoken speech, but we definitely don't write it, certainly not in IELTS. So, then, the number of casualties, get rid of the S, rose to almost 140,000 in 1994 and had a gradual increase over the next years, reaching almost 150,000 casualties, get rid of the of, in 1996. After that, there was a drastic growth of casualties, you spelled it wrong again, in 1997, reaching a high of around 175,000. However, between 1998 and 2000, figures showed some fluctuations. The number there we go, of casualties decreased marginally in 1999 and then had a slight growth to about 175,000 in the end of the period. Okay, it's fine. I mean, it's really clear. You had some variety in your vocabulary. Okay, so it rose to, had a gradual increase, drastic growth, fluctuations, reached a high of around. So all that was accurate. I mean, it's the kind of language you're supposed to be using. So, yeah, good job. Like I said, I just had that little concern with this. Other than that, it was well done. Really, good job. All right, so go ahead now and correct these. Return them back to us corrected, and let's see what you write for your next set. Good luck.